Welcome to another Mixed Media Tuesday, and today I'm going to create a mini art journal from start to finish. I'm going to be working on thick watercolor paper and I have some pieces here. I will use some of my favorite techniques. First I will create the backgrounds and then I'm going to add my focal points. So for today I'm going for a bright, happy and colorful project, and that's why I will be playing with my dilution sprays for the background. If you follow my videos, you probably already know that for my backgrounds I usually go with just two colors. So here I'm starting with a yellow and a light blue. I'm working on a bigger piece so that I can later cut it to size depending on how big of a page I want for my mini journal. So you can see me create the backgrounds, and in the meantime I'm going to share what I'm going to use for creating all these pages. Recently I got a box full of products from AALL Create. It is a British company that I absolutely love and I have used in previous videos. Since my channel is quite popular, I do get lots of products for free, and I thought that it would be fun for you to see these products in action so that you can choose which are your favorites. That's why I decided for today to create 5 different pages using as many of the products that I got as I can, instead of just filming an unboxing video. So today you will see lots of stamps, lots of stencils, even washi tapes, and hopefully the video will help you decide if something is for you. So step 1 was to add a couple of colors on each of those papers. Step 2 is to use stencils. AALL Create has a huge collection of stencils, bigger and smaller. Here are some of the newest ones. Absolutely love the one with the stars and I will be using it today. All these stencils create perfect backgrounds. They are really versatile and you can use them no matter the theme that you are going for. And I'm starting with the stars. I'm going to spray over the stencil using colors that are already at the background. I'm not introducing any new color. If you are a follower, you already know that I don't like to keep my backgrounds too busy. That's why I use the same colors over the stencils. So for this background I would go again with purple or blue. For the next page I'm going to go with the big X's. And again, I'm using the colors that I did use for the background. Another way to go would be to spray just with water. This would lift some color for the background and it would give that ghost effect. And here is the last page that I have colored. This is the Jumbo ABC's stencil. And by the way, I do all the spraying inside the box. This is a box that I get the Simon Says stamp card kits inside, and I find it is perfect for this messy job. And here are my pages. I am going to grab my paper trimmer now and I'm going to cut them to size. I decided to go with panels that are 3.5 by 5. So you can easily stick them on top of a card base, and that was a standard card that's 4.25 by 5.5. So with today's project, it doesn't matter if you like to create cards or you like to create mixed media. You can follow the steps, create the panels, and I'm going to show you later at the end of the video how you can put them together as a mini journal, or you can just stick them on your cards. And after all the cutting, here are the panels ready to go. And now let's make the backgrounds even more interesting by doing some stamping. AALL Create offers many different options for background stamping. They have amazing designs, bigger and smaller, with letters, numbers, scribbles, lots of shapes. Check them out, I'm sure you will find something that matches your style. So I'm going to start with the stars here. And I get a lot of questions on how I store my stamps. That's the only thing that I do. I just cut off the top. I keep the original packaging. There is no need to buy even more plastic. This way I create a little pocket, and that system works perfectly for me. So I am going to do some stamping. For that I'm using archival ink. I'm not going to use any stamping block. I'm doing all the stamping with my fingers. This way I get a more organic look. And by the way, if you want to know the exact name of this stamp, it is called Scripted Stars. Then for the next 2 pages I'm going to switch to another design. And this is Scripted Semicircles. Of course, you can definitely choose just one of those and go with the same stamp on all the pages. It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to use as many of the designs as I can so you can see them in action and choose your favorites. As I'm doing my stamping, don't forget that a great way to support the channel is to hit the like button as well as leave me a comment. It's completely free and I really appreciate it. I always make sure to answer any questions as well as read all the comments. So here I'm moving on to another little stamp set, perfect for backgrounds again, and this one is the scripted diamonds. So here is what I have up to now, and I want to introduce a little bit of white on the background. You can definitely go and do some white embossing. However, I'm going the lazy way and I'm going to use that pigment white ink. This is by Simons & Stamp. Many companies do have pigment white ink. You just need to be quite patient since this takes a while to dry. If you don't leave it to dry, it's going to create smudges. Now it comes very bright. It's not going to stay that way. It's going to react a little bit with the background ink. You will be able to see the design, however it's going to be a bit dull. Now the stamp that I'm using comes from one of my favorite stamp sets by AALL Create. I have been using it a lot and it's called Background Voices. Final step on the background, and I'm going to do some splashes. For that I want to have white splashes. You can do that with gesso or with a white acrylic paint that you dilute with water. I find lately that it is super easy to work with this Dina Weekly gloss spray. I don't use the nozzle of the spray. I like to use a brush that I dip inside. And then I'm going to leave all those backgrounds in the side so they can dry, and I will work in the meantime on my focal points. For my focal points today I'm going to play with the girl designed by Klein. I did create about a year ago a similar project and I had so much fun creating those pages, so that's what I'm going for today. I will make sure to link that video at the end of this one. If you haven't seen it, you can check that out too. I will leave a link down below where you can see all the designs that are available. There are tons of them. I'm sure you can find something that you like. So I'm starting out with this little stamp set which is called Grow. I'm going to stamp everything so you can see what is included. However, I'm not going to use the fence. I'm stamping everything with alcohol-friendly ink so that I can use my alcohol markers to color everything, but you can definitely use your watercolors, you can use your pencils, whatever medium you want to work with, it would work for this project. In any case, I decided for today to go with my TriBlends. These are markers that give you 3 different shades in one barrel. I find that they make coloring with alcohol markers super easy for me as they really simplify the process, and I always do very quick coloring. I don't like to spend too much time on that, and if you see the close-up photos you will see that nothing is perfect. Now I'm using my scissors and I will fuzzy cut around my images. I do leave a little bit of white border to make my life easy when it comes to fuzzy cutting. If you don't want that outline, you can definitely spend a few minutes more and cut out the image exactly on the black lines. For all my pages today I'm going to use washi tape to kind of ground the characters. So here I'm using a piece of black washi tape. This is called Power Words. I'm going to stick it down and then I'm going to place all the elements on top. To introduce some extra color, I'm also going to stick one more piece of washi tape that is designed by Janet that gives lots of color. Play around with your characters, decide where you want to stick them, and here is a close-up photo on the first page for today. For my next page I'm going to use stamps from the Little Hippie. This is an adorable stamp set. I'm going to stamp the images, color them with my alcohol markers, fuzzy cut around them and then stick them down. From now on you can easily put together cards since you do have the backgrounds ready to go. You can sit one day, create lots of backgrounds and have them ready, and throughout the week whenever you have some time to craft, then you can create a little page in no time. So here I'm creating a little page about peace. I did color my girl inspired from the colors of the Ukraine flag. I added the dove on top of her head. I'm using a black marker to outline the word peace, a white marker to add some highlights like I always do. From the same stamp set, I did stamp an extra phrase that says "Stay trippy, little hippie," which again I'm going to stick down and outline with my black marker. And also in the same stamp set, there is the sign of peace, which I did stamp on the background by using white pigment ink. Here is a close-up photo where you can see all the details better. For my next page, I'm going to use the LIBRA stamp set. There is a whole collection with all the zodiac signs, so you can choose your own, or if you are turning this into a card, you can choose the one of your recipient. Again, I did color my girl using my alcohol markers, a fuzzy cut around her. Now I am using the sign of the Libra, and again with my pigment ink, I'm adding some interest on the background. Again, remember, this is not going to show as vibrant as it is at the moment. Again, I'm using the same concept. I will use some washi tape to ground my girl. Don't overthink these pages too much. They are supposed to be easy and quick pages that you can put together without spending too much time. In every one of those zodiac sign stamp sets, you will find many words that you can stamp that are the characteristics of each of those signs. So I did stamp the 3 of them. I did stick them down with my glue. I'm going to outline them like I always do. And of course, I did use my white gel pen to add some highlights. I also went through my stars and I found those sequin stars. I'm going to stick 3 of them on my page. After all, this page is all about the stars, and this little detail is going to add some extra texture and shine on my page. And again, here is a close-up photo where you can see the details better. For the next page, I'm playing with the butterfly house stamp set. This gives you a girl, some wings, as well as a house. I'm not going to use the house for this one. I just stamped it so you can see it better. And then again, I did color her. I fuzzy cut all the pieces. The variety of stamp sets that Janet designs is amazing. And if you check the link below, you will not only find variations of this girl in a stamp, but you will also find stamps that give you clouds, rainbows, flowers, houses, even furniture that are perfect for creating little scenes with these girls. Plus, every new release I find that complements the previous releases, since they do have the same proportions, so you can use whatever you have along with the new designs. So for example, here is one that I used for stamping the clouds. This one is called Follow Rainbows, and you do get the rainbow as well as clouds, a heart, and lots of sentiments. Here is a close-up on the 4th page for today, and let's move on to the 5th and last page. For this one, I stamped the girl from the Choose Happy stamp set, and the flower and the big stem is from the Flower Pops. One thing that I haven't mentioned and you need to pay attention to is the colors that you add on your girls based on where you are supposed to stick them. So for example, here I was going to stick her on top of the pink and orange background, so I didn't use pink and orange on her main dress. This way I know that she's going to pop against the background. And another thing that you need to keep in mind is that if you leave a white border all around while you fuzzy cut them, it really helps the images to pop. So for this page I went with Choose Happy as my quote. On all the pages I do the black outline on the quote as well as the white highlights with my gel pen on the cutouts. Here is a close-up photo on the last page for today, and now I'm going to move on and show you how I put all those pages together. So I like to use the disc bound system, and I do have a set of dies. These are by Waffle Flower. They give you different sizes and they are perfect for creating mini journals. I did use the larger one, but I did use the second one in the past, and I will link to that video at the end of this one. So I cut out a bunch of pages using black cardstock, and I'm going to use those rings. These are plastic rings for the disc bound system. These are again by Waffle Flower, but there are many in the market. You can find them in different sizes, different colors. I believe I do have 6 pages here or 7, but you can definitely add even more since the rings are quite big. Another way to go would be to use a punch if you didn't have those dies by waffle flower. So now I'm going to use white glue and stick all my projects in every one of those pages. This is going to leave a little border all around, which I think complements the project since it creates a little frame and makes it look more finished. In the similar project that I shared about a year ago, I did use the punch to add those holes directly on my project, but that wasn't so neat since you could see the back and it was quite messy. You will see what I mean if you check the video at the end of this one. I think this is a neater way to put the pages together. So that was the project for today. I hope that you had fun, that you got inspired. Just like always, you will find links to everything I used down below in the description area. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time.